What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life.
Want to reach Night Talks Radio? That's easy. Simply dial 1-507-384-9390. Or, for first-time callers, just dial 1-507-307-4424. From somewhere in the great upper Midwest, here's Daniel Brewer and Jennifer Gregerson.
We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
Hey everybody, it's Daniel Brewer from Night Talks Radio, host and creator. As many of you may know already, on Friday night, we were unfortunately unable to release the White House's new hit, Heat, because of, let's just say, some questionable scheduling changes. But we here at Night Talks Radio are friends with the White House. And when we make a promise to debut one of their singles, you can rest assured that will happen. So tonight, on episode 1, season 2 of NTR Daily, we debut Heat, the White House's new #1 summer anthem. And folks, take it from me, this thing is the summer song of 2022. Originally growing up in Michigan, it invokes Kid Rock and instantly has that vibe. So even though it's a Tuesday, it is nighttime and it is a nice 76 degrees with the stars shining and the smell of bonfires and fireworks still fully in the air. Now is a perfect time to turn that radio up, grab a cold one, kick back, relax, maybe throw a couple of beer brats on the grill, and invite all your buddies. Because this song represents what we do in the great upper Midwest. Here's Chris from the White House.
Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Chris from the urban country band The White House. We're dropping our new hit single, The Heat, right here on NTR New Music Now.
Heat of the moment. Let that heat of the moment. Back in the day when I was wildin' out, we were slow riding Main Street with the windows down, hitting all the bars, making our way through town. We were always fighting, looking for love and a fresh start. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me, let it burn on me, let it burn on you, let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me, let it burn on me, let it burn on you, let it burn on you. Yeah, living for the weekend is what it's about. We were young and free, couldn't wait to be out of the house. We had that bass in the back, pumping our favorite track, hit and rewind to feel it. Calling shotgun on the high run, life was so fun, I never knew the meaning. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me, let it burn on me, let it burn on you, let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me, let it burn on me, let it burn on you, let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on you. Let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on you. Let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on you. Let it burn on you. Just let that heat of the moment shine on through. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on you. Let it burn on you. Yeah. Let it burn on me. Let it burn on you. Yeah.
I feel somehow transported to the year 1995. I quickly popped in my blank cassette tape in my awesome Sony boombox and just recorded this bad puppy. As a matter of fact, I might do a little BMXing to this awesome summer anthem. But as Eminem would say, snap back to reality. It's 2022, and I think we all just found our summer jam. That was the White House, and that was Heat, their brand new, sizzling hot single that has reached #1 after debuting on Friday. We'd like to thank the White House and Chris Hale for delivering yet again. So, until the next NTR New Music Now, just remember to stay in the heat of the moment. Want more from the White House? Check out their website at www.thewhitehouse.com. Heat was released by Northern Rebel Vibes. Copyright 2022. Want more Night Talks? We have you covered. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Night Talks Radio for bold and truthful commentary, breaking news, show updates, program guest information, and so much more. And hey, thanks for listening. To a brand new edition of Night Talks Radio. This is your host, Daniel Brewer, and along with me, as always, is Jennifer Gregerson. And tonight, as we always do on Daily, we'll be getting you up to date on current events, local, non-local, regional, national, international, and much, much more. We'll pass it on to Jennifer right now. Jennifer, you got some news for us.
I do. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful Independence Day. So today I'm going to talk about our local first. For Minnesota, The local bar is a hotspot for locals and tourists. This is a place that everyone would like to go to this summer. It is beaming like crazy. Lake Park, Minnesota is known for their bar called Hooligans, where locals and tourists can hang for their pizza, which is very well known for their pizza, and their exciting nightlife. They do karaoke and other things. Just yesterday and the previous weekend, the water inspectors say they could see over 50 boats a day. That
Wow.
is absolutely amazing.
You say 50 boats a day?
Yes, 50 boats a day.
Where was this exactly again?
This is Lake Park, Minnesota.
Lake Park, Minnesota. Whereabouts in the state is that, do you know?
You know, I'm not quite sure. I've actually never heard of it. I'm from Minnesota, and I've never heard of this place, but I would
You're
like
from
to check it
Minnesota?
out. Yep.
That's weird. I'm from Minnesota as well.
Yeah, I've been born and raised in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, actually.
Excellent, excellent. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Minnesota.
That's funny.
Hey, folks, real quick, this is something that just plagues us like a disease, no matter where we go, what segments we do, what features we have, what music we play. I noticed again that when my microphone is in the silent position or mute, and I attempt to come back after double and triple checking that everything is fine when I come back, before the show. I go to come back, and wouldn't you know it, there is no volume. So, I had to hurry up and rush through the settings and basically just reset the mic. This randomly happens. It's a ghost in the system, I swear to it. It's nothing that I have done, but I just wanted to let people know that. Because in the beginning, I probably sounded like I was 100 miles away, trying to scream into the mic. So that was the issue. But obviously, as of now, you can hear that the brewer is back. So, Jennifer, what else do we got going on?
Well, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about this bar. Mr. Jacobson, who bought the bar.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Wouldn't happen to be Isaac Jacobson, would it?
No.
Okay.
Bought the bar not too long ago. Probably, I would say, right before the pandemic. But because this bar brings in such a high volume over the 4 months of the year, he is able to keep it running. So even during the pandemic, it didn't affect him at all. So I thought that was really interesting as well.
Really? So he had zero financial losses?
That's correct.
Wow.
This is a major hotspot, I guess, in Minnesota for the summer.
Wow. I mean, I literally want to visit this place just to check it out, I obviously I don't really drink anymore. I don't do stuff like that, but I do I have learned because of you to enjoy the outside, the weather, summertime, springtime, fall time, obviously my favorite time of year. But
yes, I guess
it looks like there's a multitude of things that you can do and take part in.
Yeah, especially tubing.
At this place. Tubing?
Yeah.
Now that sounds like super fun. We got something like that here in Red Lake Falls. Is that correct?
Yes.
What is that all about? When does that start? Is that already started?
Yes, that is already open right now. It's called Tubing the Red. And it's actually really interesting.
What is the red referring to?
The Red River.
The Red River.
Red River of the North. The thing about it is that you go and you start down in the, I would say it's the far northeast of the town.
Okay.
and you're tubing basically in a circle all around the river. Now it can take you a good 4 or 5 hours to tube that river, depending on how fast the current is and depending on how fast you want to go through it. Because
4 or 5 hours?
Yes, because there's little tiny sand pits kind of on the edge of those cliff areas, because it's like a big, huge cliff, you know. So people sometimes just stop at those little sand pits, you know, get off and everything like that and have a few drinks or whatever and just kind of, you know, rest and everything. So you can take your own time going through it.
Right, and I can't imagine that it's as rough as like some of the Colorado River type deals and things like that. So it's relatively safe, correct?
Oh yeah, it's very smooth. The only thing is, once in a while, you might get a snapping turtle snap your butt once in a while.
A snapping turtle. That's funny. When I worked for the railroad, there was we had a switch point that wouldn't move, and we had no idea why. I, pulled on it and pulled on it and pulled on it, and I could not get us to switch off the main line onto the siding. And after further examination, I discovered that deep at the end of the switch point was a snapping turtle. And its shell was actually blocking the switch from making the connection with the track to allow the power and train to move forward onto the siding.
Was he hiding?
He wasn't hiding. I don't know how he got in there. He may have been trying to cross the track somehow and got unlucky and slipped into that switch point.
Oh,
because
that's possible.
He was kind of on his side, and by the looks at him, he wasn't very happy. But, of course, this was the first 6 months that I was here in Minnesota, going back, my gosh, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, with a specific railroad here.
Did you have to pick him up?
I had to pick him up.
Did he bite
and
you?
I am not one of those type of guys that, I don't go hunting, for example. Okay, I don't do that type of stuff. I rarely fish. I find fishing fun, but I rarely fish. I'm more of your golfer type, I suppose.
You are living in the town, or in the state of 10,000 lakes.
I do understand
and you don't
I
like
looked at the brochure.
fishing or anything like that. You don't even like water, if I understand correctly. Is that correct?
You know what? I like water to a point. But say like if it's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, then absolutely fuck no. So, yeah. It's the same thing with airplanes. I can be in an airplane on the ground all day and night, 24/7. And actually, I could probably tell you everything you need to know about a passenger airliner. But you will sure as hell not ever see me flying in the air on one of those things.
Oh, but please tell us about your incident in that airplane that one time that stopped you from going again.
Well, I mean, there was multiple incidences. I'm sure that quite a few people in Charlotte, Washington, D.C., and Pittsburgh probably thought I was a terrorist.
They wanted you off the plane right away.
They wanted me off of that plane immediately. This is how scared I was, folks. I don't like heights. I don't like being in airplanes that are at high levels. So we were at about 30-some-odd thousand feet. And at this point, this was one of the last legs of our journey. And we were hitting some rough turbulence. And we happened to have some Arabic people on the side of us.
Oh, boy.
It seemed to be perhaps a wife and husband. and the lady was doing some sort of prayer.
Oh boy.
And I probably don't even really have to go on. I'm sure most of our listeners, being a conservative show, you probably know exactly what I was thinking. I said, oh, fuck. I just happened to get the right plane that has a terrorist on it. That's just freaking wonderful news.
That would be just your luck.
Yeah, just my luck, So, come to find out, really quickly, she was simply praying because she did not like airliners as well.
Oh, okay. So there was no terrorist.
So there you go. I was sort of stereotyping. So, but in between that, though, it made me so scared. At the time, the popular phone was the Motorola Razr.
Yep.
If you guys remember that. Who remembers the Razr? Why don't you give us a call if you remember that thing, if you've ever had a Razr phone. Those things were super cool, man.
Yeah. Give us a call, please.
Let me tell you. What are the numbers real quick, Jen?
The numbers for the nationwide call-in line is 1-507-384-9390, and for our first-time caller lines is 1-507-307-4424.
Excellent. So yeah, call in. Let me know if you ever had a Motorola Razr. But anyhow, if you did, you knew how strong these devices were. I mean, it was essentially metal. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, this thing was metal. I was so scared that I had the Razr in my hand that I literally crushed the Razr itself in my hand as if I was the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. This is not a joke. I crushed my own phone because I was so nervous.
Well, it must
and
have been
scared.
like the adrenaline or something going through you because of your scaredness.
Well, absolutely, it was. It was the mechanism inside of me that said I don't want to fucking crash. And so my only response to that was to hold on to the Razr for dear life. But there went, I think at the time, a $500 to $600 to $700 phone completely down the drain. Well, enough about my nightmares, basically. Jennifer, what else do you got for us, local, regional, national, or international?
Well, unfortunately, not a lot of people had a very good 4th of July.
You don't say.
No.
I wonder why.
I
It
think...
doesn't start with a B and end with an N, does it?
Oh, well, a B and end with an N or an M?
An N, an N. So B and starts with a B, ends with an N, and in the middle, because God only knows that He's not responsible for a single thing.
It could be that,
happening.
or it could very well be some protester who's not very happy with the Roe versus Wade decision, or it could be BLM too. We don't know. But I do know that according to Fox News, 8 people were wounded and some were critically injured during a Minneapolis shooting at the Bloom Island Park on Independence Day during a fireworks display.
Welcome to America, everybody. This is the America that we now live in. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore.
I remember when Minneapolis was so safe to go to.
Oh, I do too. When I first moved out here, I had a big stay in the Twin Cities. For about a month, to be honest with you, before I came out to Thief River Falls. And I was so satisfied with that city, from how clean it was, how crime-free, at least to me, that it was. Coming from Detroit, you don't walk the streets at night in Detroit.
But the thing is, in Minneapolis, it was kind of same like Detroit in a way. There were...
Not to me. Not to me, but go ahead.
Maybe more like Chicago, maybe. There were parts of town or parts of Minneapolis that you didn't want to go into because those were the big, bad areas.
Every city has that sort of spot. But the majority, I happened to come out here, my first week here was the MLB All-Star Game in Minneapolis. So I got here early and got to celebrate the All-Star Game before having to go to railroad class, essentially, to become a conductor again. So I was out having fun in the city over the weekend, and I think it was absolutely extraordinary. But then, we all know what happened. So it erased all that. Now the city of Minneapolis and the city of St. Paul, the collective Twin Cities, are a place that I can no longer recommend that you go because it is so dangerous now in multiple ways. So it's very, now being in Minnesota for 8 some odd years, I'm starting to feel a part of Minnesota, I'll never forget Michigan, and I'm sure I'll go back to Michigan at one point to visit and things of that nature, friends, and of course my mother. But Minnesota has become a part of me, and it hurts. It hurts knowing that the Twin Cities are known for this debacle, this nightmarish debacle that took place, simply to get votes, simply to win an election. That's what it was, folks. You can call me, you can debate me, you
getting
can
worse.
Say whatever you want. That's what it was designed for. That's what it was meant for. It's funny that Black Lives Matters virtually disappears non-election years, and then racism and BLM become the top story virtually throughout the entire election year leading up to the election and election day. But it is disgraceful, in so many ways. Like I said, the thing I can't even fathom at this point is how can you, as a human being, regardless of color, put George Floyd on a pedestal as if he was some sort of hero or champion, when the man indeed... you know what? I can't wait to see the Candace Owens series, by the way, that got delayed on the Daily Wire. There's a plug, by the way.
Yeah.
Shapiro. But I guess she tells the full truth. She actually finds some folks. And do you recall who they were? Were they friends of his or family?
No, I think they were cousins.
Cousins. They knew him the most the past 5 years.
He had stayed with them.
From that time period, yeah, he'd stayed with him. And they knew the real George Floyd.
Yeah.
The George Floyd that the left and media would do anything for you not to learn about.
Yeah.
So, but it baffles me now, even today in 2022, they're purposely putting police shooting videos up now on sites like the Daily Wire to essentially exonerate these hardworking police officers who have an extremely difficult job, difficult decision making,
Right.
split-second decision making. I mean, it's literally do or die. You have people calling for their, death, essentially. So, as a police officer, walking up on a typical traffic stop even, you have to worry about your life. You have to be prepared.
Yep,
now.
in every way possible.
Yeah, and it's almost, it's reversed. It's reversed so much that as a society, as Americans have learned and gone through and advanced through, it has essentially put us back in time.
Yep.
Okay, to a time that this was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems as if BLM has made it their goal to make it a problem yet again. And no matter who you are, if your skin color is black, you were killed for racist reasons. And it doesn't matter the gun that you perhaps had pointed at the police officers. It doesn't matter the knife that you were running towards the police officers with.
Yep.
It doesn't matter that you tried running over several police officers, crashing into other vehicles, putting pedestrians in danger, and multiple other factors. The simple fact is that how dare you kill a black person?
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
And of course, here on the show, and Night Talks Daily, we're completely honest with you, folks.
Yeah.
We're not telling you anything that a majority of you don't know.
Right.
Okay, you all know this deep in your heart. Some are afraid to say it, some are not. I'm one of them. That's the case. That's the case. And they've latched on it like a leech after coming out of a swamp.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. I'm sure you have some things to say.
Well, yeah. Well, coming back to the Minneapolis shooting.
Yes.
The good thing is the first responders appeared as soon as possible, but the police are still investigating, and the authorities have not released any details on the 8 people injured, or they have no evidence of the person who, essentially fired out into the crowd. I mean, he or she is still at large.
So they're still at large. I thought I heard information earlier today that they may have got a hold of him, but that apparently is not true.
As of this last article that I read, here by Newsmax,
Newsmax,
no,
great site,
they have not found.
Okay, well, if Newsmax says it, then it's obviously the truth. Okay, I think, I honestly think this would be a much, much bigger story than it is. And I mean, it's big, but of course it happened in the Chicagoland area, where on a consistent basis, weekend to weekend, what is it, 40 to 50, 60 killings per weekend on average in the Chicagoland area and certain parts of the actual city. The news would be much bigger and much more talked about right now, 24/7, if the shooter, for instance, was a white person, which he was. That's the thing. But there's just not much focus on the Chicagoland area or Chicago because it's become the norm, the complete norm in the Chicagoland area. They're so used to shootings and killings that in any other place, if it was a white individual doing the shooting and killing, my God, the leftist media would run with this, and it would be a story for a full week. If it was another person of color, you wouldn't hear much about it. You might have a last page article and that's it. Again, that's going back to the truth that's deep down inside. You all know it. Some are afraid to say it, some are not. It's just a simple fact of things. So, Jennifer, more information I see that you have.
I mean, that's correct. I mean, I am so confused on why this one...
What are you confused about?
Why this one even happened. I mean...
The shooting?
No. This is something else that happened here.
Okay, now we got something else. Okay.
Okay, so this happened, very sad. This happened in Ramsey County.
Ramsey County, Minnesota?
Yep.
Okay.
At the Vadnais Lake. Apparently, her husband, it started at home first, and her husband, Lee Ching, he actually committed suicide. And I don't know what triggered it or anything like that. I suppose the investigation is still ongoing on that.
Well, suicides are up greatly, by the way.
But here's the thing. Then the mother proceeds to take her children.
I'm sorry. So this was the father?
Yes, the father.
Okay, this was the father. Okay.
Yes. Then the mother proceeds to take herself and the 3 young children to the lake.
How this sounds.
And she drowns all 3 of the children,
yes.
And then takes her life
Wonderful.
And drowns herself. I mean, I don't know what possesses people to do this. It is so sad. Those children, ages 3, 4, and 5, did not have a chance at life.
I mean, I can tell you what the mighty push of late, the last couple of years, has been. And, I mean, it's the elephant in the room, so to speak. The leftist government, the left controlling the government, pushing certain things on the populace, essentially leading people towards suicide in multiple different ways. And here you have another example. And it might not even be... I mean, don't get me wrong here, people. This is extremely bad. This is horrible. This is horrific. This is nightmarish. But it may not be as sinister as one may think, being that it's the year 2022, and we are almost 2 years into President Biden controlling and his administration. This could have been somebody who was mentally and physically completely stressed out, having a mental breakdown because of what's happening. Okay, I could even go as far as to say she didn't want her children to be turned into perhaps interchangeable sex toys for the left.
Right.
And she thought best that she takes their lives and her own before that mutilation could be started. You really have to think about this stuff now. It's something that you would never imagine speaking about even 4 to 5 years ago. Okay?
Right.
I mean, folks, it was 4 or 5 years ago, might as well have been 1 million years ago That's how drastically things have changed in just that small period of time. But so with that, in closing, that mother may have thought in her head, however wrong it may be, still, regardless, that she was saving her own children from the left.
Maybe. I mean, the world is really messed up these days. I mean,
messed up is putting it lightly.
Yes.
Lightly.
Yes. I mean, there is new evidence out there, and I will actually be talking more about it on my Friday news segment. But
Night Talks Radio News.
Yes.
With Jennifer Gregerson.
The news you can use.
Hey, you stole that from me.
Hey.
I used that on my last show.
That's what it's always been about. The news you can use.
Well, that's right. You do give the news that people can use, so I'll let you take it.
Okay. Anyway, so we just got some new information on the COVID injections.
Oh my gosh,
and
folks.
We're not going to get too much more into it. We will talk more about it on Friday.
This
but it will blow your mind.
Let me, if you don't mind,
Daniel,
I'm not going to give away.
You give away way too much.
No. I'm not going to give away the major points here.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, how about how movies have teasers?
Yes. Okay. A teaser.
Okay.
Teaser.
And it doesn't really give away anything. It just keeps you completely interested. Like, oh my God, I have to see that movie. Or, in this case, oh my God, I have to hear Jennifer's report.
All right, do the teaser real quick.
I'm not going to name sources here. Okay? Although I probably would assume he wouldn't mind, but because of the fact I did not ask him, I am not going to release this person's name, who actually delivers resources to the show on his own. I mean, he doesn't. We don't pay him. We don't do anything like that. It's just he pats my back. I pat him. He also has a radio broadcast as well. So we kind of feed each other information from time to time. There was an article, okay, that came out, it looks to be 2 days ago now. Well, what is today? Today's Tuesday?
Tuesday the 5th.
Okay, this looked like it came out yesterday at about 1,300 hours, which of course is 1 o'clock. And by the time I got it, it was 15:48. But let's just put it this way. The opening line that he put was, "Dear friends, sorry to announce genocide." Let me say that again. Sorry to announce genocide. Dr. Naomi Wolf of the Pfizer, we all know and love Pfizer, confidential report. It's really true. They know they are killing babies. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And folks, that is the extreme tip of the iceberg. Okay? If you know icebergs, you only see a very small portion of said iceberg sticking out of the frigid waters, and underneath is a giant mass of unknowns, things that are unseen. and we could call this story that you're going to drop like a bomb
Right.
on folks, on listeners and fans, about what is really going on and how much do the FDA, Pfizer, and a multitude of other companies, including the CDC, actually know, and what are they actually telling us? So, Jennifer, you're going to have that full story Friday night, correct?
I am, and I'm also going to leave another thing with...
How important is this story for people to know? Let me put it that way.
It is extremely important. I would say it is life or death.
Life or death. That I'm going to have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit that one right on the nail,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And another thing is I want to put out there with you guys is you guys have to think this new world order that Biden is supposedly trying to push on everyone.
Not just Biden, either.
Well, other people are trying to push
Boris Johnson,
as well. Yeah.
the UK.
You gotta think.
The list goes on.
And look back in your history and do some research on this Illuminati. I do believe there may be some connection.
If you're listening to this show, for example, if you're a fan, a listener, or if you listen to other shows out there that are similar to ours, which there are many great shows that are similar to ours, by the way. But you would be classified as a conspiracy theorist. Okay. And growing up, up until about 2016, and the mighty Trumpster taking office, and please, if God exists, return him to the Oval Office in 2025, January.
24, isn't it? 2024?
2024 is the election that you don't take office until the 20th of January.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't you remember the January 6th?
Oh, yes.
Incident, my lord, where...
Oh, my goodness, yes.
President Trump essentially, killed Americans with his bare hands.
Yeah, apparently, yes.
So, yes, it does go. You have a month or two to kind of wrap things up with your administration, so to speak, and let the new guy move on into your former home.
Well, we do need to get rid of Biden because he is not doing any good
What'd you say?
for this country.
What'd you say?
We need to get rid of Biden. I mean,
We need to get rid of Biden?
yeah, by obviously having.
I gotta do the old Nicolas Cage meme. You don't say.
by getting Trump back in office.
Well, at this point, I would be completely satisfied with Donald. Perhaps, one of his sons.
Okay, any Republican.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I mean, any Republican, conservative, but the top prospects, so to speak, you're looking at Trump, you're looking at Candace Owens,
Yep.
okay, a black female, by the way, conservative, just destroys the leftist narrative, by the way. They can't stand her. Oh my God, she is a one female wrecking crew on the left, and it is so awesome to watch. I recommend, here's another plug, Ben Shapiro, to watch the Daily Wire and Candace Owens and her show. She just, on a daily basis, she's out on maternity leave, by the way, but she'll be back very soon. Yeah, she tells it how it is, straight up. Even more so than Ben, and I thought Ben was the end-all, be-all,
right.
And Ben can certainly put any leftist directly in their place and literally shut their mouths.
Right.
But Candace Owens, man, is on a whole another level,
right.
And she could easily run for president and easily win. And then, of course, you just simply cannot avoid mentioning Ron DeSantis of Florida, the governor of Florida. He has essentially made his state of Florida what America should be.
But I don't know about that neither, because isn't he kind of... Well, isn't he kind of for this, like, allowing this transgender thing to happen in
Oh, dear
schools
God,
thing, isn't
Lord,
he, or not?
Heaven, my Lord, get off the show.
What?
No, absolutely not.
I thought he was for it. Like, I thought he said he wasn't going to fight about it.
Folks, I have no affiliation with Jennifer Gregerson at this point.
Oh, quit.
No, Ron DeSantis is our guy. He's the man, so to speak. Okay? I'm sorry, the person. Can we say men and women anymore?
I don't know.
He's the person now.
He's a person, yeah. Well, anyway, we got to let the world show that Sleepy Joe has got to go.
Sleepy Joe. I think it's way past Sleepy Joe now. It's more or less Puppet Joe.
Puppet Joe.
I mean, have you watched this guy after speeches? Just literally walking around as if he's lost his little red balloon and he's trying to find it desperately with a giant lollipop in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, and then his handlers, his White House handlers, have to come out and guide him.
Right.
Like, hey, sir, you have to go this way. This is the way we go. Okay. You're embarrassing us here. Come on, guys. And they literally have to guide him out. He can't find his way out.
Yeah.
It's like one of those magic rooms where you have all the mirrors.
I wonder if his wife has to dress him at night.
Oh, I'm sure. Actually somebody at the White House does that. Well, you're the president, so somebody will do that for you.
Well,
you know, especially being a leftist-controlled government. Oh my gosh, I'm sure they praise him for being the puppet. So sure, we'll dress you and undress you every day. Yeah, he. I mean, understatement of the year, understatement of the century. I mean, history even, that President Joe Biden, who I think attempted to run for president like 5,600 other times in the past. Honestly, it's not that much, obviously, I'm joking, but he ran a lot, folks. Okay, going back quite some years, and he lost dramatically every single time because of scandals, because of ties to certain people, racism, and ties to socialism. And those are just a few.
Right.
But somehow, and now don't forget, everybody supposedly loved Obama. Obama, oh my gosh, Obama. Can I just touch you, man? You know, can I just get a little, could you clip a piece of your hair off so I can keep it for safekeeping? He himself even said of Joe Biden, and this is exact quote, okay, mind you, don't underestimate Joe's ability to fuck shit up. It's funny, but that is exact word for word what former President Obama said about then Vice President Joe Biden.
Right.
And you also notice when the election process was happening, Obama took forever, okay, to come out and endorse Joe Biden. Because usually, if your terms are up and your vice president has been with you, the whole time, and they're running for president, you immediately give your approval for that person for presidency. Obama stayed away from Joe, like the fucking coronavirus that the left told us was out there.
Right.
And only at the last minute he finally was like, yeah, I'll probably vote for Joe. And that was about it. And then he disappeared and ran off in the sunset with his female wife, and
and what about that segment that he's doing on what is it, Netflix? Segment or whatever, isn't it, or National Geographic?
Like all of a sudden, Obama is like a master of all things, apparently.
Yeah, of the world,
to the liberals. He's quite untouchable. He's like the new Hillary Clinton. In a way, like mixed together. Like
he could tell us about the rainforest and about these beautiful islands.
This dude knows everything. Yeah. Like he's like God, So he can explain away anything, and he's so charismatic about it. He's just like, well, this is it. This is how it's gonna be. But you just don't understand the policies that I've created here for you guys. It's always you're not understanding. But he makes it sound almost heartwarming that he's calling you a fucking idiot.
Well, wasn't it funny when he finally, when Joe finally did the inauguration and Obama came to it, and everyone kind of paid attention to him over.
Nobody. If you just turn a TV on and didn't have anything to do with watching the elections,
nobody
up to that
paid
point,
attention to him.
You would have thought that Obama somehow won a third term.
Yep.
Because they were flocking to him like crazy.
Even his Secret Service, was all over him.
Joe Biden, classic Joe Biden, just wandering around the crowd.
Like a lost little puppy.
Like, hey, do you know where I'm supposed to be? People are like, dude, you're the president. He's like, I'm the what?
Right?
I have no idea what's going on here. So, it was amazing. Even leftist Democrats, liberals, at this point, let's go back. Let's come back to the present day. They are even losing massive faith and hope.
Yep.
In the Democratic Party.
Yep.
And according to some of the major pollsters out there right now, the midterms, are going to be just a devastation for the Democratic Party. There is zero doubt, no doubt, that the Republicans will take back full control of both the Senate and the House.
Mm-hmm.
Just no question about it. There is no possible way. Knock on wood, of course, but there's no possible way that Democrats will hold anything.
No.
Okay, and like I said, even and there.
Anyway, let's go back here to the news that we have here. We're kind of in a little bit of a. Let's go. 50 unaccompanied minors
Reconnecting again.
and 156 single adults were all obtained by officials.
Hey, come on over.
Biden,
and here we go, reconnecting again. Okay, we're back live. The funny is, shut them down, and when they start talking about baseball or something, let them come back on.
well, maybe somebody can call in and let us know if we're still being recorded here.
If you're out there, could you call into the show and let us know if you're listening to us, if you can hear us when we're talking about these things. Because, I am completely used to being shadow banned. Okay, so, I mean, it's not like a big ordeal to me. I totally know that I've been shadow banned for multiple reasons. Mainly because, I'm conservative. I'm majorly conservative and believe in, family values and the American way. But no, I want to know if they are shutting us down when we're talking about these very important topics to conservatives anyway. So let us know. Give us a call. The nationwide call-in line, of course, is 1507-384-9390. And the first-time caller line is 1507-307-4424. So give us a ring-a-ding and let us know if you could, if you're able to hear us out there, if they're actually blocking us from essentially what is our freedom of speech. It's just
true.
It's absolutely mind-boggling because media, any type of media outlets, sources, groups, things of that nature, it's all controlled by the left.
Right.
So if you don't speak the way they want you to speak, you're shut down.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and get some of your other things? If you have other things to, let's calm them down for a little bit. Let's not piss off Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, I do have another thing. The Hadron Collider, the third run was a success. After being shut down for 3 years, the LHC started up without a hitch. So it went off, just like that.
Yeah.
Or should I say without a glitch? I mean, thank God, right?
It's funny to me, like they, for quite some time now, they've known the possibilities of what could happen at this facility, which I believe is located in Geneva, Switzerland. But they went ahead and said, well, whatever we have to study. Well, the funny thing about it is that they would be dead. So, whatever you wanted to study, you're not going to get to study. Anyway, but whatever it was that they thought they could survive and study and make whatever better, would essentially create a black hole on our planet, and we'd all be dead. So, with us being here tonight on NTR Daily on Spreaker.com and multiple other streaming platforms, by the way, we're still alive. No black hole was created this time. So, I guess we can be thankful, even though stupid people went forth with this, knowing that the possibility of this could happen.
Right. See, here's the thing, though. Okay, so it recorded so far high energy collisions at the unprecedented energy of 13.6 TeVs. So that is actually
how fucking fast is that?
That's 13.6 trillion electron volts. So that's really fast.
Well, that sounds scary too. But
yeah.
I
I tried to break it down, but I'm not a physicist, so I cannot
I'm
break it down
feel like an old person. Like who needs to go that fast?
So with all the new updates and maintenance work that they did on it, well, it was shut down for that 3 years. Now they believe it is now set to run close to 4 years nonstop.
Oh, joy.
And but here's the thing: is they need to keep a real close eye on it because over the next years, because the maximum that it can hold is only 14 trillion electron volts, and they're at 13.6 right now.
So Jennifer Gregerson,
yes,
my lovely and beautiful co-host on the weekends with the Nate Talks Live, and of course here now on NTR Daily.
Yes.
What you're telling me is that now with everything going on in the world that is scary as shit on a daily basis, if not an hourly basis, you're now telling me we can add on for 4 years the possibility of a black hole being created on the planet. Is that what you're telling me? Or
well, I don't know. I just know that starting it up was a success, and I think that is the part that is actually really scary. Now that they have actually clicked together and collided together, everything is aligned the way it should, and that's when they think that, because of it aligning the way it should and at the actual energy volume that it's at, it should now be set to run close to 4 years.
Wow. So, that's it. That's essentially what it is. So at any moment, something, even the smallest of things it could go wrong, and the human race will basically be extinct, is what you're saying?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a physicist, so I don't know how to do all this stuff, and everything. But the scary thing about it is that we've got to keep an eye on it because as it runs and stuff like that, it could very well increase in energy. And as it increases in energy, we've only got a little bit of a leeway before it gets up to that 14 trillion, and that's the top off.
Well. Yeah.
So I don't think they're very smart on this thing. I think they should have upgraded it a little bit more to make it more than 14 trillion. If they're going to start it at 13.6 trillion right now, that's only, what? That ain't much far from 14 trillion they've got left to go.
It's obviously super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beyond our imaginability. And when anything, let's put it this way, when anything is out of our control, okay, that's why I don't like planes. Let's go back to that example. Because I know that I'm not in control.
Right.
Okay, so anything could happen. I won't be able to stop it. I'm not going to be able to stop the passenger jetliner that I'm on from crashing directly into the Atlantic Ocean, for example, okay? As we break apart in the sky.
Right.
So that's a no for me. I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't put myself in that situation. But these folks in Switzerland are gladly doing that.
But you think they've got protocols too.
Well, protocols. You can have all the protocols you want. When you're messing with things of that nature, there is no predictability, really. It's you can learn as much as you can. You can study, get degrees and all that good stuff, and think you know. But all it takes is one single thing that you did not know or was unexpected, and you accidentally kill the entire human race, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what essentially are they trying to get out of this anyway? I mean, are they trying
honestly,
to find, like, if it can time travel or what?
I don't pay too much attention to it because I personally think it's just absolutely ridiculous. We could be using funds for this for a multitude of different things around the globe. So I personally think this is pretty pointless now. Maybe in the future, this might be something that could be talked about or feasible or whatever have you. But, the only thing I really heard about it is some are saying that they're looking for the elusive God particle. That is what I have heard from several sources, and it's also been stated in certain medias. So, again, I don't think now is the right time.
Probably not.
There is just simply too much going on our planet at present time.
Oh, especially with the global warming.
That's
going to make it a lot worse,
I'm going to ask you, and you better have the right answer. Why is global warming happening?
I think it's got to do with the sun's shift. The shifting of the sun. The sun is dying off. The sunspots, the sun flares is putting off. It's got to do with the sun.
Well, I love you.
I love you
so
too.
I'm not gonna say anything. But let me just put it this way, okay? These climate change, okay, is what you would call normal Earth changes, okay?
Right.
They happen, ever so often.
But the sun can contribute to it, correct?
The sun is a part of it.
Okay,
The
all right.
rotation of the planet.
Woohoo! 1 point for me.
Ding, 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 ding. The rotation of the planets, the rotation of the Milky Way, the rotation of the universe. They all have factors affecting these sort of things. But we are entering, have been, in a warming trend, a warming cycle, a warming climate change. I described to our wonderful guest, by the way, Sunday, Jennifer Alvarado, that, it's something that just happens. Like I said, I mentioned to Jennifer that we had some days and weeks that we were in, nearly 100-degree temperatures.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
The real feel even higher. I think at the highest point, we were looking at 115 or so degrees.
Yeah.
Which in my 8 years of being in Soda, I have never personally seen. I have never seen it above 100. I could tell you there's been some damn fucking hot days in the 90s.
And the storms, I mean, jeez,
And
the tornadoes.
gosh,
Oh my goodness.
Folks, we've literally had...
Just around here.
What, 30 tornadoes?
Just around here.
Since the beginning of tornado season?
Oh, well, tornado season normally doesn't start until July. I mean, this is since the beginning of June, so you can tell how
for us,
crazy it is.
Tornado season technically starts in April, but, for us, this is super duper early.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not like little, water spouts or some shit.
No,
these are like EF2s, man. And it's unusual, but it goes with the narrative of climate change. So let me put it this way to any liberal or leftist out there. We may have had a ridiculously small part of helping climate change, okay? Not creating it, but helping. The Earth has been here for a very long time. The Earth has been through unimaginable scenarios and situations, okay, throughout its history. It has survived every single one of them. Now, if it had a problem with us, if, say, we were poisoning the planet or causing climate change, as we are told by little children.
Right.
What the hell was her name? I can't stand her, by the way.
Yeah. Greta.
Greta.
Or something, I don't know.
Greta bitching at you. You wake up in the morning, you see her face. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, you go out in your motor vehicle. Yeah. You buy your gasoline and you don't care. You don't care.
Okay, that's enough now.
So,
come on.
It's just, it's if the Earth wanted us, if it was our problem, the Earth would simply eliminate us.
Yeah.
Okay? The LERF. Geez, I sound like a leftist trying to tell you.
Come on now.
The Earth is called LERF.
Quit.
And it's also flat. All right, but anyway, hence the name LERF. Level.
Come on, you've gone way overboard with the leftists right now. Come on.
So you can never go too far overboard.
Hey, come on. We don't need to ban our show. Come on.
We might already be.
No, quit.
But anyway, so here's the situation with that. To end that, I'll end that conversation for you.
Very good.
And our listeners. The Earth would just flick us off like a mosquito.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So there you go. And by the way, get ready for climate change, warming climate change, to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Just be lucky that we're in the beginning stages of it.
Right.
Okay? Our children and their children's children, will also be somewhat lucky, but then we get into... the danger zone. Cue Kenny Loggins right now. Okay? It'll be bad. But we don't have to worry about it. Our children don't have to worry about it. But it will always be a topic that the left will use, like everything else, to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay, get that electric vehicle for $900,000. Okay, but get that new smart home that right now will cost you an interest alone $300,000 or $400,000 on a mortgage, 30-year mortgage. Okay, I'm done. I'm getting the look, so go ahead.
You are horrible with this. I mean, seriously, I don't want us to ban.
You may think I'm horrible.
I don't want
there are people out there who think I'm magnificent.
Hey, I don't want our show banned, okay? We're just starting to get in the numbers, really good in the numbers. We're starting to get really well-known folks, and everything like that. I mean, talk a little bit about, being conservative and a little bit of how you feel. That's okay, and everything. But come on now.
Here's the situation. So, NTR Live on the weekends.
Yes.
We talk about anything from UFOs.
Yes.
UAPs.
Yes.
The paranormal.
Yes.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes, everything.
Military secret projects or programs.
Everything, yes.
I can go on and on and on, okay? Rarely are politics or anything having to do with politics are brought up during those shows.
Right.
NTR Daily?
Yeah.
You're in a whole new fucking ball game, lady. Okay? This is where the brewer gets to talk about things that people want to talk about.
Yeah.
But are afraid, just like you saying, oh, Daniel, we're going to get banned. It's at this point, it's not whatever. Obviously, we've worked hard. Our listenership is growing dramatically, which tells you that's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, so, obviously I don't want to get banned, but it is what it is. Until we get back control of things, it's just another worry that you're going to have. It's like death, taxes, and you will be banned from social media at least once in your life. Those are the three absolutes in life now.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
I'm done for right now.
Anyway. All right. So I'm going to ask you one thing. I want you to be serious about it. I don't want you to take a long time at it because we do have other things to cover.
Here we go.
And you see to go on a tangent all the time.
Okay.
So, Biden calls for control of gas prices. What do you think on that? What's your opinion on that? Do you think that's going to bring us into more of a shortage, more of a depression, faster than we are right now, or what?
Well, first off, he's a complete maniac. Okay, let's just make that very clear before I proceed.
Well, we know that already.
He's done everything in the playbook, his particular playbook, to set blame on the gas prices, oil prices, on everybody else besides him.
Yep.
The main reason why. It's nobody else's fault. Maybe a few percentage points for Putin, but he has not caused the devastation that the left wants you to fully believe that the Russians have caused in Ukraine, which, that's a subject for another time, but that is not affecting us in that way yet. There's multiple things that President Biden could do. One, and that's, anybody with a brain, essentially, would say, is, hey, take those restrictive measures off the drilling and refineries.
Yep.
Okay, so they can produce more.
Correct.
And cover the demand for gasoline.
Yep.
Okay. No. Essentially is what he said. No. His speaker, the White House speaker, stated that all we need to do is buy green vehicles, energy vehicles, electric vehicles, and it would solve the problem, like that. Well, that's super funny, because, again, this is the third time I'm plugging the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro had brought up the point that he has the means to purchase a Tesla. Okay.
Yep.
And well deserved. The man, it's well deserved. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
But he says, how incredibly stupid are these people running this country? Because he ordered his Tesla, I do believe he said last August.
Okay.
Still has not received it. Still is on back order. And at this point, looks like he probably won't receive it until possibly October or November. Not only that, but say the more middle class to lower class friendly electric vehicles are also backlogged. Okay? We're talking not weeks or months. We're talking years.
Right.
Even if you wanted to, you cannot solve this problem.
Not to mention separate battery.
Wait. You cannot immediately solve this problem without having to use gasoline and fossil fuels. It's just as simple as that. You cannot solve this by immediately implementing a new Green Deal, okay, taking away our vehicles, making mass transportation, retrofitting our homes. None of this will be effective. Okay, it will not change things overnight or anytime soon. We must be dependent on fossil fuels and clean energy like nuclear power, okay, which I don't believe we've had a reactor go online for many, many years, which is a problem. It is abundant, it's clean, and properly controlled and understood is absolutely safe and could power our homes, businesses, our streets, everything. But no. Again, there's your answer. No. Even ExxonMobil came out and said, dude, lift the restrictions. No. But produce more. It's like, okay, how in the name of Zeusius butthole are we supposed to do that when you have restricted us and taken that ability away from us?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, so the answer is it is 100% Biden's fault.
But what I'm saying is right now he is calling for everyone around the country to lower the gas.
Okay, so that, yeah. So here's what happens if that happens. Okay, what will happen is, first and foremost, similar to what happened in the 70s with the gas crisis, what you will have is if gas prices are lowered, to say $2 and under or more, you will have every, human on the face of this earth, well, at least in America, getting restocked on gasoline and fuel. Okay, we're talking their automobiles, we're talking recreational, gas tanks for lawnmowers, just numerous things. So, with that happening all around the country on a daily basis, if this were to happen, you would obviously soon be out of gasoline. Okay, at all these gas stations. Okay, which would cause something similar to the gas crisis, like I said, in the late 70s. Okay, where you saw just cars lined up for miles, and gas stations with signs that said, "Sorry, no gasoline."
And our dollar would go down too, right?
Yeah, well, drastically, it would go down. The price obviously would go down for a period of time, but inevitably Biden would have to come back. From that to a level of cost that would be more closer to $10 or $11 a gallon for gasoline. And I don't have to tell you how damaging that would be amongst everything else. So, we're already in a recession. I spoke to you about this last night. Of course, you have many, many people that states, no, we're not. No, we're not. We can get out of this. It hasn't happened yet. Where's your proof? It only takes 2 full, quarterly earnings reports to show that you're in a recession and how drastically you are in a recession. Well, the thing is with recessions is that you have no idea that you're in one and how bad until that second report comes out. I can fully assure you that for the second time in a row, we will have massive downgrowth. Which means, everybody say it with me, recession. And probably one of the worst recessions in recent memory. So there you go.
Yeah, it's sad. It's not good at all.
Sad is just, you're putting it lightly. It's destroying our country. What's really happening is that, I'll bring up the left one more time, is that, you know what they did in the summer of 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, to win the election. What are they going to do come the end of July, August, September, October for the midterms to make you not vote them completely out of the House and Senate? How dramatic is that going to be? We thought 2020 was bad, is what I'm saying. Go ahead. You had something to say?
Well, a lot of people think he's going to lower these gas prices as a political gain. But in the same time, what it's going to do is it's going to cause us into eventually a depression, because what he's going to do is he's going to buy out all the oil because of the fact that he needs to replenish it, And if he does that, then we're not only going to have the gas prices that we have to worry about, we're going to have the oil prices that we have to worry about as well. And just hold on one second. And the Great Depression, if anyone remembers, the Great Depression is what made the Federal Reserve powerful in the first place.
Well, the Federal Reserve, again, this is a story for another time. I'll just make it very basic. The Federal Reserve was never meant to be in power like this.
No.
Okay, never. They were never meant to, for the White House to simply be like, hey, here you go, fix this. You have all the power. That was never meant to be.
No.
Okay, we'll speak about that another time. That would take forever to talk about. But here is the smart thing that Biden thinks he's doing to get people to vote Democrat come November. With the current gas supplies that we have, it would literally run, if people were doing as I said, until, mid-October. And then Biden would have to raise the prices drastically back up to the $9, $10, $11 right before the November midterm elections.
Yeah, he's not very smart.
Which will solidify the Democrats losing and losing horribly. Okay, but this again could all be resolved. He also released reserves that were meant for our military and wartime, thus depleting our military forces even more, which was a horrible idea. But the main factor is, in reality, he could have just started the refineries back up, and this and that, to get the pipeline restrictions off, and get these men and women back to work, and the problem would start to solve itself. But Biden, you know what? I shouldn't say Biden. The AOCs and the Ilhan Omars of the Democratic Party, who are the true presidents.
Mm-hmm.
They must have their Green Deal.
Yeah.
They must,
Yeah.
by any means possible.
Yeah, I can keep on doing that. Yeah.
So they're telling you this: you must produce more, but at the same time, you must stop producing more.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Doesn't make
If
sense.
I was anybody in the crowd, instantly I would be, the fuck did you say?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so, just unbelievable.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jennifer, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Before I get into the Ukraine update, I'm going to touch base a little bit on that Bill Gates is actually coming to our neighborhood state.
Yeah, I was going to say that's North Dakota,
he's
right?
coming. Yes, he's coming to North Dakota. He actually won the approval to buy 2,100 acres of farmland. Now, why would Bill Gates want to come to North Dakota?
I didn't realize Bill Gates was a farmer, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they...
If
I know
you've been to North Dakota, folks, you'll immediately understand what North Dakota is all about. And Bill Gates, in no way, shape, or form, represents North Dakota, first and foremost. Go ahead.
No, that's why they wanted to take him to court and everything to find out what his agenda was in a way, because this, North Dakota is all about the farmland and the farmers and stuff, and they want to find out what his agenda is, if it's even reputable or anything like that, before they even approve it.
I can tell you, probably 90% correct on this.
But it's a potato farm he bought. It's a potato farm that he bought.
Well, that's something that we might need to look into. What's up with potatoes and the Illuminati? But
right?
The thing is, though, is Bill Gates has been well known buying up territory, especially in other countries, to do testing on children of random supposed vaccines and cures, which have left thousands upon thousands of children disabled, mentally injured, unable to speak or hear or see, massive heart issues, lung issues, organ issues.
There's test subjects.
Test subjects, guinea pigs. It was attempted to be spoken about several times, but it was instantly shut down by the leftist world government and the WHO, mind you, who is
bought
and paid for by the left, as a matter of fact.
But here's the strange thing about it, okay? So, exactly about 3 weeks to a month earlier, a new Chinese factory buys land about 20 miles from our Air Force base. It's a sugar substitute factory, a Chinese sugar substitute factory.
Okay.
I mean,
and
then all of a sudden Bill Gates is buying land now?
I got your answer for that one, too. If anybody remembers out there, a few years ago, all the Chinese nationalists around the country captured, taken into custody, arrested by military police at random Air Force bases, Marine bases, whatever have you, taking very specific photographs on private property, and every one of their excuses, in some cases simultaneously, from, say, somebody looking at a base in Montana and someone looking at a base in Georgia, all said, "Oh, so sorry, didn't realize where I was." Come to find out, when they were arrested, interrogated more, searched more, they didn't even have valid visas to be in the country. Now, you have, and this might be new to you, Jennifer, but North Dakota, Grand Forks, near the Grand Forks Air Force Base, you have a massive Chinese company going up very close.
Yep.
And in other regions as well. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. It sounds like a long-term, well-funded preparation for a internal first strike by an enemy country that absolutely hates our guts and are thorough communists. And that's there's my answer.
Could be,
could be. I mean, it's
and Bill Gates
it all
could be
makes
behind
sense.
it too.
I mean, we were paying $50,000. Some very major Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Brown, Quinnipiac university professors paying Chinese nationals $50,000 a month. Okay, and times that by 10 or 20 for whatever reason. A lot of them have been brought up on charges of national security and espionage.
Yeah.
So whatever they were giving China was top secret United States intel. And a lot of these guys had clearances of that nature as well.
Right. Okay, so here comes the Ukrainian update.
Okay, what's going on here real quick?
Well, apparently there's more shelling obviously going on over there. There's still some fighting back and forth going on.
Basic. Okay.
Yeah, basic normal stuff. But apparently on Independence Day, Vladimir Putin declared victory over the eastern Ukraine province, Lugansk, and his troops escalated their offenses in the neighboring province, promoting Governor Pavel,
It's okay.
Kulinko to urge a mass evacuation of residents. The governor
Remember when he
that
said
getting the remaining
we're not gonna harm you?
350,000 people out of Donetsk is necessary to save lives.
No. To speak about Putin briefly, we follow this story very closely. I have friends in southern Moscow, who, by the way, I always have to reiterate, who are not, the Russian people, especially, are not behind the Russian military and Putin, who many think are also a puppet of sorts, being controlled by a deep government, Soviet sympathizers, who have been stewing pissed off mad for nearly 33 years, and ready for their revenge. Russia is not going to stop. They will enter Poland and other countries, NATO countries, EU countries. It's something where we're going to have to be involved, whether we like it or not. It's going to be similar to World War II, except on a way different scale, because this time somebody makes a rash decision, the ball game is over, folks. So
Yeah, I know. It's devastating.
Especially for people with young children like myself and Jennifer. I grew up in the last half of the Cold War. My friend, who I will simply call D, grew up in the Cold War as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually knows much, much better about what the Russians are capable of and how they thought about things. Folks, it's nightmarish. I don't even want to say anything about it, because I don't want our fans and listeners having horrible nightmares, which I believe you had for a while. I know I had for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's now with Sweden and Finland officially being recognized. No, the Ukraine and Vladimir Zelensky. That's two Y's, by the way. I've noticed many people making that problem, that issue with one Y. But anyway, he is trying to at least get into the EU. If not NATO. NATO would be his ultimate goal, because then he would get air power and the full force of NATO-backed countries. It's a horrible situation. I
think it's getting worse over there, though, because other things have happened that I still need to speak about. So Governor Kulinko, his thought, his theory on this is that, okay, so once there are less people there, that the troops will actually be able to concentrate more on the enemy. Mm-hmm. So they might have a better chance, a fighting chance. Mm-hmm. But if he does do this evacuation, it will be one of the biggest evacuations of the war. According to the UN Refugee Agency, more than 7.1 million Ukrainians are estimated to be displaced within Ukraine, and more than 4.8 million have already left the country.
Countries are beginning to not be able to house and sustain these Ukrainians any longer. It's getting to a boiling point, no matter how you look at it. Whether Putin is in control or not. But again, I have to say, I'm always one about the truth here.
Right.
You have to look back at, we've known President Putin going back to the early 2000s. Not once has he ever shown things that he is showing now or saying. It's just not his MO, but it certainly is the MO of Soviet leadership wanting control again.
And that's funny that you say that, because listen to this.
Yes.
Just yesterday, the Kremlin, Moscow, installed officials in Ukraine's southern Kherson region and announced the formation of a new regional government with a former Russian official at the helm who also worked at the Federal Security Service. But it's still unclear what will come of this.
Okay. The bottom line with this is that
they basically want to take over.
We're going to have to step up at one point. Europe, NATO, the United States, we need to grow balls immediately. Because, this goes back to the late 70s. We're talking Afghanistan, things of that nature, where we allowed Russia, the Soviet Union at the time, to test the waters, so to speak, with the United States. And it was easily discovered that if the Russians did it quietly, quiet enough, didn't bother the United States, that inch by inch they could do essentially whatever they wanted to. Now, with Russia having the upper hand, they are telling the world, especially the West, NATO, and the United States, that go ahead, do what you think you have to do. We will succeed and you will be non-existent. So, chilling words that have been repeated more and more throughout the weeks and months by Biden, a lot of top Russian officials, breakaway Russian military forces. It is World War II all over again, and people just refuse to understand that part.
Right.
So.
Well, we are coming up to our 2 hours. I don't know how late you want to do this. I can go ahead and do the quote of the day, and you can go ahead and finish it off if you want to.
Well, how about you do that quote of the day?
All right.
And whatever else information you might have, and then I will get everybody in the Midwest up to date on your 3-day weather forecast. And I think, since we are up against the wall, I didn't even notice that, I think we will call it a show for today. And of course, we will return tomorrow.
Yep.
With NTR Daily, with whole different subjects and much more intriguing talk that we know deep down that you guys love. So, Jennifer.
Well, before I go ahead with
the reins.
Before I go ahead with the quote of the day, I just excuse me. I just wanted to say one thing that we want to wish Jennifer Alvarado, excuse me. I do apologize. Jennifer Alvarado, we do here at Night Talks wish you to get better fast. We are...
Well, not only her, but Josh.
Josh, too, yes. Is Josh still sick?
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to confirm that with Jennifer today.
But I do know that Jennifer is very sick now, so we
Jennifer got hit today.
Yeah,
she said within an hour it was like a ton of bricks.
So Jennifer, please get well fast.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be sucking on those vitamin C's like they're going out of style. Zinc as well. Vitamin D3 like never before, and fluid.
Also, I'd like to take a moment of silence for all of those lost during our Independence Day. Thank you. For the quote of the day, take each day one step at a time, inch by inch, if you have to, and when you fall down, remember to look and see all the progress you have made. The meaning of this, to me, is nobody is perfect. Mistakes will be made, but don't give up and don't forget about what you have already accomplished in life. What would you say about that, Daniel?
Nice. That's when Paris Hilton used to say, that's hot. So, no, I actually love your quotes of the day, your readings, your astronomical insights. By the way, again, when is that coming back?
Oh, yes.
Is that going to be back tomorrow?
Yes. Speaking of astronomical insights, that will be back tomorrow.
I can name about 1,000 people right now that are waiting for that.
Yes, I do apologize. I'm actually going to try and have that put out tomorrow sometime before 2 o'clock.
Ooh, pushing the ball on that one, huh?
No, I think I can do it.
All right, we'll see if she's up before noon, folks. Real quick, before I get to my last bit, which, by the way, it is the unofficial witching hour of 12 midnight. Ooh. Do you know the official witching hour, by the way?
Is it 4:20?
No, that would be I'm getting fucking high hour.
Is it 3 something then?
Technically, it is 3:33.
3:33. Okay.
But not many people know that, unless you're a witch.
Well, I am not a witch, but I am a gypsy.
Okay. I can't imagine you as a witch or even a gypsy. Putting curses on people.
Well, no, apparently gypsy is in my blood, and stuff like that from my ancestors, and I don't know how, Czechoslovakia back in the day and stuff like that, there were gypsies all over the place, and stuff, and I don't know if they had the magical ball and they went and they did the gypsy, magical ball reading and stuff like that, if it was that type of gypsies or what they were exactly, I didn't read much into it yet.
The first thing I think of when you say gypsy is the movie Snatch. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that movie is absolutely hilarious. I recommend it highly. It has to do with gypsies. I'm not going to give away the whole story, but it reminds me of gypsies when you bring that up from the movie Snatch.
Well, when I think of gypsies and everything,
Brad Pitt's in it, by the way.
when I think of gypsies and stuff like that, I think of the old-fashioned circuses where they had those gypsy ladies or whatever that would tell your fortune and stuff like that. That's what I think of, like an old-fashioned fortune teller is like a gypsy lady to me.
Right. Some of my friends out there that may be listening, we used to, do the one-liners from those movies all the time. To John Sequin, if he's out there, the part where the bullet-toothed Tony got the phone call and he was brutally beating the head of whoever got into his way, or who he was trying to find, in the door as he was slamming it full force on his head, aggressive, mean, angry, and yelling, and then his phone started ringing, his car phone, and he instantly stopped, and when he picked up, it's like nothing ever happened, and he picked up and he said, "Bonjour." And I thought that was just one of the funniest scenes in the movie. There are multiple scenes in that movie that are hilarious. The dog that swallows the ball, Turkish, the Russian. Remember the Russian?
I don't know. I have to see that movie all over
it
again.
before.
No, I don't remember it.
And then Benicio del Toro, a name from the past, was also in that movie. Had addiction to gambling.
Oh,
so
jeez.
he was on a good path. He was doing things right, but if somebody offered him to gamble, things would go through the shitter quite quickly. And then, of course, the part with Bullet Tooth Tony at the bar when the black guys tried to rob him, who were hilarious in themselves, and I am so sorry I cannot recall their names right now. Great actors, and absolutely funny, but they had fake guns.
Oh, jeez.
And attempting to scare Bullet Tooth Tony. And he went on a sort of rant about how they were the one talking the most must have been the leader, so he was the penis.
Oh, Jesus.
And the other two who weren't talking as much were not the leaders, so they must have been the balls. And he proceeded to say that the balls and penis are now going to shrink because of the simple fact that he shows, the movie shows, that the gun that they had pointed at Bullet Tooth Tony, all three of them, had a replica down the side. And that when they showed Bullet Tooth Tony's gun, which was an American Desert Eagle,
Oh, wow.
which said clearly down the side, he said would help precipitate your balls shrinking fully away and leaving. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. There was so many parts of that movie that were hilarious. I highly recommend it. Movie night, folks. Watch Snatch with a Brad Pitt and the guy from The Transporter. And I cannot remember his name to save my life right now. He was quite popular. He was in Hobbs and Shaw. What the heck was his name?
I don't know. I'm not good with names.
It was The Rock and...
I'm not good with names. But anyway, before you go to the weather, let me just ask you one thing. Who won the Nathan's hot dog contest this weekend?
Well, who do you think? Let's put it that way.
I'm not sure.
Well,
why don't you tell us?
It's, proud to be an American. Joey Chestnut once again dominated.
And why?
At the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I believe he shoveled, I was incorrect the first time I told you. He shoveled, I think, 63 or 68 hot dogs.
And I understand it was because of all the adrenaline that he had or something going on?
Well, of course, you naturally have the adrenaline, but of course, anywhere you go now, any event, anything like that, that's normal, any attempt to get back to normal life, you're going to have protests. And there was a protester who, these protesters usually think they have extremely bigger balls than they actually do, and actually hopped up on stage, which is illegal. It's against the rules for that particular challenge or whatever have you. And Joey Chestnut, in what seemed to be mid-flow, accepting his prize, leveled out the protester to the point the protester was snoring, folks. And Joey Chestnut, as if he was shushing away a fly, went right back to receiving his trophy or whatever you get.
Well, wasn't he eating at the time, though, when it happened? I think he was
he
eating.
had just finished and was actually still swallowing
oh, my goodness.
the bread and hot dogs.
That's talent.
But seemingly all at once was eating the hot dogs, the bread, drinking water, swallowing the hot dogs, accepting the prize by Nathan's, and whooping ass on leftist protesters.
That's talent.
That is talent, and it's Joey Chestnut, American. This happens every 4th of July. Joey Chestnut has been dominating in that sport. And once again, you know, it's I'm proud to be an American. Oh. At least I know I'm brave.
Don't quit your day job.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, that's the next thing I'll do. I'll have the Brewer Sings Hour. NTR Brewer Sings Hour.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
For all our listeners out there.
Yes.
Okay, you gotta go.
Yes, you go ahead with the weather.
I'm gonna do my weather here for you guys.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
And we shall bid you adieu until tomorrow with more NTR Daily.
And astronomical insights.
Oh, yes. And Jennifer will be back full force. Okay, see you later, Jen.
Yep.
Okay, really quickly, the forecast for Red Lake Falls and surrounding areas and the region. Tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday, July 6th, we're going to have partly cloudy skies for the majority of the time. A high temperature of 82 with a refill. I'm thinking refills and gasoline. That's what I'm doing. With a real feel of 91 degrees. So it's going to be humid. It's going to be hot. Surprise, surprise. Nighttime comes. We get some relief at 66 degrees for the low. As we go into a Wednesday night, we should have some appearances by the stars, planets, but then it becomes cloudy once more. Going into Thursday morning and afternoon, we will have partly sunny skies for the majority of the time. 79 will be the high, the refill. Can I say that? Can I say that right? One time, the real feel will be 84 degrees, so not too bad. And we drop to a magical 58 degrees for the low on Thursday night. I take that back. That would be Wednesday evening. We'll be at 59, 66 for tonight. So that's a mistake that I am happy that I made. Okay, and then going into Friday, July 8th and heading into the weekend, which of course means NTR Live and magnificent shows. We will have mostly cloudy skies for the majority of the time. Back to 84 for the high and back to 94 for the real feel. And for the low, 65 on Thursday night. So just a slight bit of relief there. So there's your 3-day forecast for Red Lake Falls, Thief River Falls, Crookston, and the surrounding areas here in the great upper Midwest. Folks, it's been a pleasure coming back at you with NTR Daily. And we'll be back at you every single day as well now. Just like the show title, NTR Daily, which means daily. So we hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and we hope you enjoy tomorrow. We'll be back at you. 9:05 start time. Jennifer will be on the air around 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss out on that. But for Jennifer Gregerson, my wonderful and beautiful co-host, and me, Daniel Brewer, and of course a big thank you to the White House and Heat, their new awesome summer song. We bid you adieu from the great upper Midwest. You've been listening to NTR. Good night, everybody.